inclusive leadership, productivity, and success. Today, we are going to talk about imposter syndrome, and I'm going to share with you 5 steps that I use to overcome imposter syndrome. Have you ever felt like you're not good enough, like you haven't truly earned your accomplishments, and your success is more about being in the right place at the right time versus your skills and capabilities? Well, if your answer is yes, you are not alone. Data shows that 70% of people feel this way at one time or another in their life. It is called imposter syndrome, and these feelings of inferiority can impact you in your personal and professional lives. And guess what? 65% of the professionals are not familiar with the term imposter syndrome, but they're very familiar with the symptoms. I have dealt with imposter syndrome multiple times in my 20-year career as a business leader. It happens to me usually when I change jobs and I feel like everybody else knows more than I do. They have more institutional knowledge than I do. And then I'd start feeling like an imposter, that I'm not good enough. I'm not contributing to the strategy. I'm not contributing to the conversations. I know this pattern because I've gone through it multiple times. And these are the 5 steps that I use to overcome the imposter syndrome when I'm going through it. The first step to overcoming the imposter syndrome is to focus on the facts. If you feel like an imposter at work, ask yourself these questions. What is my skill set? Why am I good at what I do? What are my capabilities? Write those down. These things will help you build your confidence. The second step is to own your successes. Make a list of all your achievements, and while you're making that list, try and relive those moments of success. Now, this is a very, very powerful step, and it works wonders for me. When I am dealing with imposter syndrome, I make a list of all my accomplishments. I make a list of all my awards that I've won. And then I play videos of me receiving those awards or look at my awards. And that makes me feel good about myself and gives me the confidence boost that I need. Now, you could write a list of all your accomplishments, successful projects, congratulatory emails, great, great business results. All those are accomplishments that you should write down. And as you're writing them down, relive those moments. One suggestion I have for you is to create a kudos folder in your Outlook, where every nice email that comes to you, you store in that kudos folder. And then whenever you're feeling low, just open that folder and read those nice emails that people wrote to you on your successes and congratulating you and thanking you for all the hard work. And that will reboost your confidence in a big, big way. The third step is to share that you're dealing with the imposter syndrome with your trusted group. You will be surprised how many people will tell you that you shouldn't feel like you're not contributing enough or you're not good enough, and give you so many examples of how you're making an impact. Now, I'll share with you my example. As many of you know, I joined as GM of an edtech company a couple of months ago. Most people in the company have been here for over 10 years, and they have deep institutional knowledge. And every time I get into a conversation with them, I feel like an imposter. So I shared how I was feeling with my new manager in a one-on-one. And he said to me, Rashim, you're doing great. Remember that you are a #1 Amazon best-selling author. You have 5 LinkedIn learning courses. You run the eWOW initiative. You have business acumen. You are an influencer. And that's exactly why we hired you. We hired you because you bring in a fresh perspective that we need in this business. Having this conversation with my manager and hearing these words boosted my confidence, and I made a note of those words. So now if I feel like an imposter, or if I'm going through that phase where I'm not confident enough, I just remind myself of what he said. Now, I understand that you might not have a manager with whom you have this kind of relationship and you can share with them. So in that case, I would say reach out to your coworkers or reach out to your friends or even your family members and talk to them, because talking would really help to boost your confidence. Now, sometimes when you share your feelings, people will tell you that they feel like an imposter too. Either way, sharing your feelings will help, because what it'll do is you will either leave that conversation with an elevated self-confidence, or you will basically leave the conversation with a validation that you are not alone in this, and everybody goes through this imposter syndrome phase once in their lifetime at least. The fourth step is to reframe the conversation with yourself. Remember that it is impossible to know everything. If you don't know something, accept that and consider it as a learning opportunity. Now, this step is especially hard for perfectionists, and that's why we have the fifth step in this process, which is to be kind to yourself. We live and work in a very fast-paced world, and we are often pulled in various directions. So don't be hard on yourself to prove yourself to the world. I work long hours, and sometimes I feel undeserving of my kids' love because I'm not devoting enough time to them, or I'm not baking cookies with them like most moms do. I have realized that people who love and care for you know you as a person. So take a deep breath, acknowledge yourself and all your successes, and be grateful for what you have in life. So those are my 5 steps of dealing with imposter syndrome.